government bailout of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two of the country's largest mortgage lenders. CBS News correspondent Thalia Assuras is in Washington with more on that. Good morning, Thalia.
Good morning, Harry. As you know, this takeover is an effort to shore up an economy shaken by the turmoil in the housing industry, and it could be the biggest bailout in U.S. history.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are critical to turning the corner on housing.
Saying that the economy will not recover until the real estate crisis is corrected, the government put the companies under conservatorship and replaced their chief executives. It's also pouring in cash, an initial infusion of $1 billion to each company, with more to come if necessary to keep them afloat.
A failure would affect the ability of Americans to get home loans, auto loans, and other consumer credit and business finance. And a failure would be harmful to economic growth and job creation.
The two housing finance giants handle $5 trillion worth of mortgages, buying and selling them to investors. But by taking on too many financial risks and faced with increasing foreclosures, they're running out of money. The government's intervention, intended to keep them liquid, has the backing of both presidential candidates.
We've got to keep people in their homes. There's got to be restructuring, there's got to be reorganization, and there's got to be some confidence that we've stopped this downward spiral.
But both candidates also warned that taxpayers shouldn't be left holding the bag.
We have to make clear that in our market system, investors can't be allowed to believe that, unlike working families, they can simply invest in a heads they win, tails they don't lose situation.
Well, there is plenty of discussion about how Freddie and Fannie should be run in the future, perhaps even privatizing them. But a decision on that would have to come from a new administration and a new Congress, Harry.
Thalia Assuras in Washington this morning. Thank you very much. Joining us from the White House is Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson. Mr. Treasury Secretary, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
Why do you feel so compelled to do this? And in the end, could this cost several $100 billion?
Harry, these companies are so big and so interwoven into the financial markets and our financial system, we had no choice. A failure by either one of these companies would cause great havoc in the economic system. It would be a big blow to the average American, affect their budget, their ability to get a consumer loan, a car loan. And the thing I can say to you, Harry, is we've structured this facility to protect the taxpayer. The government will be repaid on any money we put in before the shareholders of these companies get a penny.
People should know, though, if they have one of these mortgages, that this has no effect on their mortgage whatsoever. All this does is basically save the company, correct?
Harry, even more than that, yes. If you're going to need to get a new mortgage, hopefully this will increase the availability and reduce the cost of mortgage financing going forward. The housing correction is at the heart of what we're going through right now in our economy. It's at the heart of the problem. Until we get this behind us, we're going to continue to have turmoil in our financial system. So one of the key objectives here is to run these companies to stabilize the mortgage market and to make it easier for Americans to get mortgage financing going forward.
Mr. Secretary, where do you think the bottom is on this market?
Harry, I don't make market predictions, but one thing I do know, that the key here is getting the bulk of the housing correction behind us. And only when that happens will we be at the bottom. And the key there, I think, is to make sure that we have available mortgage financing, because only if there's mortgage financing is there a chance, will these housing prices stabilize.
Real quickly, was this a bad business model in the first place, and do you foresee more bailouts in the future?
Well, this was a flawed business model in the first place. Never should have happened. Great ambiguities, a big conflict between public purpose and private profit, systemic risk, and one of the things that is going to need to be done, and I think this move sets the country up to correct this problem longer term, and it's going to need to be corrected.
And very quickly, do you foresee more government bailouts in the next, say, month or so?
Listen, first of all, Harry, I'm not going to make any forecast. And remember, in this situation, the taxpayers protected, shareholders aren't being protected here. The government's coming ahead of the shareholders.
All right. Mr. Secretary, we thank you so much for your time this morning. Do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Harry.